Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Racing 3. Today we will be doing Road Car International, the second series of Amateur. Last episode we did Pure Stock Challenge 100%, and there we got a little bit of a glimpse of the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR, which is going to be in this season but in a different series later on. And the layout for this episode, we're going to be doing 25% because this is a little bit longer, and we will start with one car, and then when its showcase is finished, we'll be moving on to the next. I'll do until the last car, which we're going to use for the rest of the series once its showcase is finished. So the first car we're going to be using is the Hyundai Veloster Turbo, which started literally at 1 PR stock. Which is, I think, one of the worst starting PR ratings of the game. But I do know some other cars that are very, very slow from their PR. And our first race is going to be elimination at Hockenheimring with our Hyundai Veloster Turbo. For the first race, I think it'll be mostly Hyundai Veloster Turbos, maybe even all. There could be a chance actually because there's only 8 cars. So there is the grid 8 cars at Hockenheimring, and there is all of that is all Hyundai Velosters, but we are fully upgraded, meaning that we will be way faster than that. And also our fully upgraded PR is 8.3, which means we should be 8 times faster. I don't think that's actually correct, but it should be. It sure feels like it because we have already gotten first place of the race in the first corner. We didn't even exit it, and we're already in first place going into the first person mode. It is on the left side, which is actually different because the Nissan Silvia had the driver's seat on the right side in the game. And we already have more than 100-yard lead, and I can barely see them in the rear view mirror there. There go, only 6 cars remaining now, and we're going, I think this is more than halfway through. Actually, this is a different track layout, so I'm not sure if this, oh I know, this is the same, just in a different section. Anyways, we're now pulling away with only 5 seconds left, and there we go, only 5 cars remaining with a 300-yard gap over the second place. I think that is 10 seconds maybe. And then there's going to be 10 seconds left for the 5th place car, and we're already pulling away 600-yard lead now. We were going very, very far away very, very quickly to this second place car. I'm not sure if any of the cars are upgraded yet. And then we almost got 700 there. 10 seconds remaining for the 4th place car, meaning we will be guaranteed into the podium places, which is all we actually need because the trophy is all you need to go to the next tier. But if you get gold, then you'll get more series completion and more money. And actually, his username was a pun, ecstasy, like the word ecstasy. I'm not sure what it means, but now we're 1,000-yard lead over second place with 3 cars left, including us. That could be more than half of the track. Now only 2 cars remaining, which is the car right behind us. 1,200-yard lead over the second place with 10 seconds remaining on the clock for it. I don't think even with these 10 seconds left and I would completely stop and go reversing, he would actually still probably lose. There we go, we have gotten the win with more than 1,300 yards lead. That was probably the best first race I've had in a series. And now I'll be moving on to the next race. Okay guys, this right here is the Mazda RX-3 with 0.1 PR. That is probably the worst the worst PR that I have ever seen in the game. It probably is the worst car in the game. I couldn't imagine driving something like that so slow, and I haven't even unlocked it yet. So it's in a very later series, and also I'm driver level 60, which means I have already unlocked so many series by default, and I still have not unlocked that Mazda RX-3, which means it should be a rarer car or maybe an exclusive. Anyways, we'll be moving on to our next race. Head-to-head 3 laps at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And because it's a head-to-head, it means we're going to start right in the front row, which should be a very, very easy win since we're already fully upgraded. And because I feel bad for the NPCs with only 1 car, I'm going to wait 15 seconds so we'll get so it'll actually be interesting. Okay, and there is the 15-second time penalty. 500-yard lead now. There's 600. Actually, let's check the map so then we'll get in even more disadvantage because I don't really know this track. And also, there's a lot of people in the grandstands there. That is probably a full crowd on that on this track. There we go. Start and only already 30 seconds into the first corner there. That was probably the longest wait I've had in the game into going into first corner. And then now we're starting our catch up to the first place NPC. However, it is also a Hyundai Veloster, so even if it was fully upgraded, it'll be still limited to 8.3 PR, which is still bad even for fully upgraded. So we should be able to catch up maybe in the second lap, and maybe we can see maybe in visibility in the first lap as well. Now we're going into a straight here, which our fully upgraded stats should be working very nicely, and I do not see where it is yet on the. Oh wait, there it is. There is the car right there. Only 100-yard lead now in the first lap. We're going into the big banking section where our fully upgraded car should be using its top speed and acceleration very nicely. We should be able to catch up to it, maybe even overtake it in the straight by itself, not even in the corner. And now look at how quickly we're catching up. Less than 100, 80, 70, 60, and the more we're on the straight, the more we're catching up. And then there we go, already first place in the first lap after a 15-second penalty. This car is so slow, so that's probably actually been benefiting us. Sliding a little bit on the corner, but we didn't go out of the track, so we didn't lose a lot of our durability. But now we'll be pulling away from the Hyundai Veloster. Actually, let's see how much of a lead we can go. Just like in that last race, we got 1,300. I'm not sure how much this will give us. I think maybe 800, which is quite actually very big even in this track. Okay, now we're pulling away. We only did the overtake in the just as we started the second lap, maybe just before it actually. But now we're pulling away already, and it is going to be a 300-yard lead already. We're going into the banking straight after the few corners, sliding a little bit here. We lost a lot of our lead there, but still more than 100, which is all we actually need because our car is fully upgraded, and that's plenty of time to use to get our advantage back. Now into the big banking, and we're pulling away now because we don't have any corners here to slow down, while the other car is probably still into the twisty sections there. Now we are pulling away from that car now, but we lagged a little bit and we started drifting, but we're still getting to that lead. Starting the third and final lap, 1 minute 35. We should go for a faster lap here. I wonder how fast we can get, so maybe into the 1 minute 20s. And we almost slid off the track there. We were just on the edge of the curb. We didn't even drift like last time. We just almost went straight in out of the track. But we're still more than a 400-yard lead. 500 now. We're still checking I'm still checking how much we are making a lead. So our lap target should be maybe into the 1 minute 29s. And then now 600-yard lead into one of these straights here. And I don't know why. What are those tents right there? I think those are bathrooms maybe for the marshals. And there's a big extended crane there actually. And then now we're going into the final few corners into the straight, and there's our 700 yards. And after these two corners right here, we should be able to go into the big banking straight. We're just now started the 1 minute, so we have less than half a minute left to get to that finish line in the lap for the lap goal. Okay, 1 minute 20s now, and but we're already into the accelerating 130 miles per 140, which is actually very slow compared to other cars that I've driven. 1 minute 29 is there. 1 minute 31, 2 seconds above the goal. But even with a little bit of drifting here and there in the first corner, I think it's still okay. Almost went under 5 minutes there. But that second place car almost 30, actually it is more than 30 seconds slower than our car. But now I'll be moving on to the next race. Okay guys, our next race is 1 lap at Melbourne. It is a cup, meaning that we'll probably get 8 or 10 cars. And also only 1 lap, meaning there should be an even smaller grid. This is the showcase, meaning that it's going to be only Hyundai Velosters in this race. So after this one, this showcase, we're going to be doing the Nissan Silvia. Then after its showcase, we're going to do the Ford Focus. So it is going to be only 1 lap, meaning that we only have 1 lap to do all of the overtakes. And it looks like 10 cars. Yep, there's 10 cars through the middle of these first few cars over here. And that is the default gray, which is very ugly. And we're up into 6th place. There we go, getting stuck between these black and blue Hyundai Velosters. They all pull into a single file line, but we scratched the front end of that blackness Hyundai, and then now we're stuck behind this default gray Hyundai, and then squeezing through the inside. Now we're already up into 2nd place, catching up to the red Hyundai, and we're squeezing through the middle, and there we go, we have taken the lead of the Australian Grand Prix in the first lap with only a little bit of the track left to go. After 3 corners, including this one, we should be able to be going into the final chicane and accelerating into the finish line. And now we're going into 2 of the last chicanes. One of the last final chicanes. And then here is the last chicane after this corner here. And we should be able to win the race. Already a 200-yard lead in 1 lap. And then there we go, we have now accelerating into the end of the finish line. There we go, drifting a little bit like the Ferrari drivers. Now we have won the Australian Grand Prix, and now I'll be moving on to the next car, the Nissan Silvia. So our next race is going to be a drag race at Suzuka Circuit with our now Nissan Silvia. I think this is also going to be mostly a Hyundai Veloster still, because it is quite a big gap from 8.3 PR all the way up to 14 PR on the Nissan Silvia. Maybe even more of a gap when they're both stock. So there we go, starting the race. It is also a Nissan Silvia, and we're already pulling away from that Nissan Silvia, already in the rear view mirror. And then right in the middle of the red line and the gear, it should be able to be the perfect shift. There we go, we have won our first race out of 3. Another Nissan Silvia. Another Hyundai Veloster. Another easy win probably. There we go, little bit of a later start than the first one. There we go, little bit of a later shift as well. Now it already is in our rear view mirror. And then another perfect shift. I think that is the last one that we need. And there we go, we have now won the second last race. That is the final race of the drag race, and it is also a Hyundai Veloster. And there we go, we're already pulling away, and it is already in our rear view mirror. This car is way more powerful than the Hyundai. I probably couldn't even beat it as a real driver, not an AI. Nissan Silvia versus Hyundai Veloster, fully upgraded each. Now I'll be moving on to the next race. Our next race is going to be the showcase of the Nissan Silvia head-to-head at Hockenheimring. It is going to be 2 laps, and because it is a head-to-head, we should probably do another penalty thing like we did in the in the head-to-head of the Hyundai, because we are a little bit upgraded here, and it is another Nissan Silvia. We should probably only do a 5-second penalty. There it is, starting the race on the right side, and 5 seconds. There we go. Now I'll be accelerating and catching up to that first place Nissan Silvia into the first corner already, and it is just barely in front of us, even with that 5-second penalty. Maybe less than even if we had 22 cars and I was dead last. And now we're already right behind the Nissan Silvia. This is sort of like Hunter in the Lamborghini Legends episode, where Sylvia would start 30 seconds earlier than us, and we would have to catch up very quickly. I don't think there's any races like this one where a slow car has to catch another slow car using Hunter game mode. But we have already taken the lead of the race. I didn't even realize that yet. And they're already into this, and we are already into this second sector in the first lap. We are already pulling away now. Let's see how much of a gap we can get on this one. It is already more than 200 yards. So our first lap is going to be 1 minute, and it's going to be a plus 5 second penalty, so it's going to be even slower. And it is 1 minute 15. So our final lap should be maybe 1 minute 10. Now exiting the first corner of the second lap, and we're pulling away from that second place Nissan Silvia, even with that 5 second penalty at the start. To almost got 400 yards there. It was a little bit also. Now we're up to 400 yards into the second sector now. This is the second sector, I think, not the first. Okay, now into this very tight hairpin. Also, that curve is very weird looking. Very half circle, a semicircle. Now we're up to 400 yard lead, more than 450, 470 there. Now I'll be going into this final sector, 44, which we're going a lot faster than the previous lap. 500 yard lead now, 600 yard lead then. And then just not even 1 minute yet, and now going into the final corner with less than 1 minute. First lap 1 minute 1 minute 16. Now we're accelerating into the straight victory drift, and 1 minute 6. That is 10 seconds faster than our first lap. That is a huge difference, probably because of that 5 second penalty on that first lap. But there we go. We have now finished our race with Nissan Silvia, and now I'll be moving on to the next car. Okay, guys, our final race of this episode is going to be a head-to-head with the Ford Focus RS. It's kind of weird because we only had one race with this car, and it's already the last race of this episode. So it is going to be one lap at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, head-to-head. I think this is the same head-to-head from the Hyundai Veloster. Maybe a different track layout, maybe just the regular oval. It is going to be another car, and it is going to be it is going to be a Hyundai Veloster. This is going to be very, very easy. Okay, starting off the line with no penalty. Already we have taken the lead. There we go. We have taken the lead of the American Grand Prix, and this is going to be the regular oval, I think, from what it looks like so far. This is what we did one race, a time trial in for the BMW in the Pure Stock Challenge episode, 50 to 100%. And also the grandstands are full in this race again. I'm not sure why they make it completely full. I haven't checked the grandstands of any other races yet, so I'll keep more attention to those races in the future. And it is going to be the regular oval. We have now finished the ending straight, and there's so many people in the grandstands there. I think it's called the grandstands. I'm not sure what's the real name of it though. And then just the 50 seconds there, and we're pulling away from that other car very quickly. 600 yards in one lap, and we were just going straight actually. And there we go, victory drift. There we go, guys. We have now won the American Grand Prix, and now we'll be completing 25% of the episode. Next episode we're going to be doing 25% more, the total 50%. And now we'll be claiming our bonus. We should be able to get 700,000 for our RS. There we go. We have now completed head-to-head. And we actually unlocked the showcase of the Ford Focus RS, meaning that in the next episode, we'll be guaranteed to be using the next car. 4,000 bonus by itself already. $700,000. There's the 25% complete. 5,000 with 5 gold, which actually what we were mainly looking for is the gold. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and bye, guys.